Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Beat the Odds. It's Bassem Khalaf here. Yes, I am using Zoom. What I'm going to do here today is I'm going to go ahead and take you guys through all the games coming up for Week 11 of this NFL season, and I'm going to give you guys my thought process and which pick I like on each game. I'm not saying you have to tell, but these are my picks for the week, and just keep in mind it is still Wednesday, very early in the week, so lines are subject to change. There's going to be a lot of maybe injuries or COVID cases, so we'll see how things progress as the week moves forward. Now, I just want to go ahead and get started. It's going to be a quick video. I'm going to give you guys my best pick, like I said, from every single game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We do have Thursday Night Football. What a great game. Arizona Cardinals visiting the Seattle Seahawks. We saw what happened last game between these two, a really back-and-forth battle, overtime game. Went really high scoring as expected. Both of these teams, not the greatest of defenses, but great firepower on their offense. The line did open up at 56.5 for the over-under, now 57.5. So if you can get it at that 56.5 mark, go ahead and take that. These are the ESPN lines, so obviously everybody has their own lines. Not sure what you guys are looking at, but as of right now, ESPN has a 57.5. I know it's a little high, but just go ahead and take that over. No reason to think too hard about it. Seattle Seahawks coming in as favorite, which is a little surprising considering the Arizona Cardinals did win that last matchup between the two. And that's a really high percentage of people to take the Seahawks, man. Really interesting there. But like I said, my favorite pick in this game, over 57.5. Now, moving forward, we do have the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Cleveland Browns. As we see both of them really not good performance against the spread. We see right there a slight number of people want to take the Cleveland Browns, which is interesting. They're having a great year for Cleveland Brown standards. A 6-3 record is very impressive. Now, what I saw from the Philadelphia Eagles last game is Carson Wentz has continued to struggle the same way he struggled throughout his career. He cannot get rid of the ball quickly. He's always getting sacked, and you know what? Who he's going against this week is Myles Garrett, the #1 sack leader in the NFL. So keep that in mind. I am really liking the Cleveland Browns in this one. If you can get that spread at -3, that would be amazing. But -3.5, it is. I'm just gonna circle that for you guys so you guys can see it. So that is gonna be my pick for game number 2. Cleveland Browns -3.5. Now let's go ahead and move forward. We have the Atlanta Falcons visiting the New Orleans Saints. Now, it's very interesting right now because the Saints are at -5 on this line, but we know Drew Brees is still in question, 5 broken ribs and a ruptured lung. We know how severe that can be. The line did open up -4.5, so rather than it going down, it's actually going up. Not sure what people see in that one. I'm going to stay away from the winner out of this pick just because look at that. 4 and 5 against the spread. Wow, that's pretty interesting. They both have that same 4 and 5, but I am going to take the over 51. Both high-powered offense. Saints, their defense looked okay against the Niners, but you know what? Who doesn't look good when they have Nick Mullins up there at quarterback? So, and then Atlanta Falcons, I think they're really starting to click with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. Obviously, that's a great trio right there, and I could expect them to put up a lot of points against the Saints in this one. So, this pick, let's go ahead and take that over 51. Now, moving on, Saints and the Washington football team hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, what an interesting game that is, huh? Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. Really boring game. However, Bengals, look at that record against the spread, man. That is really impressive considering they only have 2 wins on the season. So, without thinking about it too much, I am going to take the Bengals in this one. Joe Burrow has been playing phenomenal football this season, and you know what? Washington football team, I haven't relied on them to win a ball game since I don't know, maybe 2012 or something, 2013. I'm surprised they even have 2 wins on the season, but this is a really low number, really disrespecting the rookie of the year. Let's go ahead and take the Bengals in this one. Yes, they're on the road, but you know what? No fans. What kind of harm is that going to do for a guy like Joe Burrow? So, like I said, Joe Burrow and the Bengals should come away victorious on this one. Now, moving on to the Detroit Lions hosting the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers played a hell of a football game last time against the Kansas City Chiefs. Almost won it. They did attempt a 65-yarder to win that football game, but obviously that wasn't enough. Trying to see. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I got that right because Panthers. Their last game was completely forgot about that shit show. Yeah, they did not play too good against the Buccaneers. That defense looked atrocious. They weren't hanging around in the first half, but you know what? Tom Brady really figured some things out in the second half, and yeah, but this should be a good ball game. They don't have the over under open yet, so really interesting there. But if I'm gonna have to pick a winner, I think it is the Carolina Panthers, just because they've hung in there with really good teams. Christian McCaffrey might be back for this game. He did sit out that Buccaneers game as well because lingering issues once again. So like I said, I am gonna take the Panthers in this one just because of their performances against really good football teams so far this season. Now, moving on to the next one, Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Jacksonville Jaguars. -10 is always a high line to take, but Jaguars did play pretty well against the Packers. And interestingly, they're 1-8. But you know what? I think that's just what happens when you go up against a shitty team is you play shitty football. And I'm not surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Pittsburgh Steelers do the same thing against the Jaguars here. So I'm going to avoid that -10 line. And I'm going to take the under in this one. 47. I'm surprised they moved up from 46 here to 47. Jaguars were able to put up 17 points against the Packers, but really the defense helped them a lot. They ended up getting an interception and putting them in a great scoring position. Oh, and I forgot to mention they did get about a 90-yard punt return in that game. So their offense is shitty. Go ahead and take the under right there. Moving on to the next one, Tennessee Titans visiting the Baltimore Ravens. These teams matched up in the playoffs last year. Tennessee Titans came out victorious, and we saw what happened to the Baltimore Ravens last game. They did lose to the New England Patriots, which isn't a really good football team so far this year. So I'm surprised they're opening up at a -6 and moved up to -6.5. So if you can get the Tennessee at maybe a +7, go ahead and take that one there. I'm really liking the Tennessee Titans in this one. I'm really surprised how big of a gap that spread is so far. I know it's early in the week, but -6.5 is really, really big considering how good the Tennessee Titans are. Yes, they struggled as of late, but I do expect them to cover the spread on this one. Now, New England Patriots visiting the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, by far the worst defense in NFL. Their rushing defense has just been terrible. I do expect a big game on the ground for the Patriots in this one. And they did play good against the Baltimore Ravens last game. So maybe that's a turning point for them in the season. Maybe Bill Belichick finally figures something out to get them back in the playoffs. So I am really liking the Patriots in this one. They did open up as underdogs, but a lot of people are feeling the same way as I felt about them. Let's go ahead and take that -2 New England Patriots on this one. Moving on, Miami Dolphins hosting the Broncos at 1:05 Pacific time. Broncos complete shit show against the Raiders. Drew Lock threw for 4 interceptions in that one. Raiders only had 3 interceptions in the season coming up into that game, but they ended up getting 4 in that one. Man, the Broncos just really looked bad at that game. Their offense couldn't get anything going against the Raiders defense that is not the best out there. And we know the Dolphins, they force a lot of turnovers. So I expect this to be a high-scoring game because of that particular reason is that there's going to be some turnovers forced that might put them in great field position. So 45 seems a little low to me. Let's go ahead and take the over on this one. New York Jets visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm surprised the Jets have been able to cover 2 spreads. Pretty damn impressive if you ask me, considering they are 0-9. Chargers coming in at -8.5. I really don't like this one because, look, started at -10. A lot of people were jumping on the Jets to cover that 10, and rightfully so because, look, they have a rookie quarterback. You can't expect the quarterback to come in and knock out a -10 right off the bat. So if you can get the Chargers on a money line this one and just parlay them with, a couple big favorites, I think that's your best bet. Stay away from the over-under and stay away from that -10 or -8.5, whatever you see it at. So like I said, money line parlay if you can. Green Bay Packers visiting the Indianapolis Colts. Packers, really shitty performance, like I said, against the Jaguars last game, but I do expect them to come out much better because, like I said, you do play much better against teams that are higher competition. Colts defense, one of the best in the league. Phillip Rivers has been playing really, really good this year. Brought down the turnover total a lot compared to last year. This is really interesting. The line for the over-under has moved up 2.5 points. So I'm guessing a lot of people are jumping on that over. I am going to have to take the Packers in this one. I think their offense is way too deadly. And they did activate Lazard out of the injured reserve. So I expect them to capitalize on that. Aaron Rodgers could use a lot more weapons for his arsenal. So, like I said, Packers in this one. If you can get their money line, that'd be amazing. It is plus money right now. So, moving on to the next game, Dallas Cowboys visiting the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings, not the bestest performance against the Chicago Bears, but you know what? Kirk Cousins did enough to earn himself his first Monday Night Football game. Congrats to him. And that's a really impressive record against the spread, a 6-3, considering they are 4-5. And you know what? Dalvin Cook really struggled last game, so I expect him to come out and show this Cowboys defense how terrible they are. The line moved from 46.5 to 48. I'm really liking the over in this one. I know they have a fourth-string quarterback, the Cowboys do, but you know what? Vikings defense isn't the best. Yeah, they played good against the Bears, but who the hell do the Bears have, right? So go ahead and take that over 48. Trust me on this one. Next game, Kansas City Chiefs against the Raiders. Probably the number one game I'm looking forward to this week. I think the Chiefs are going to completely destroy the Raiders just because of some of the remarks that Andy Reid has made so far in the season. And no disrespect to all my Raider fans out there, but I do expect Andy Reid to draw some crazy stuff up and completely blow this game right out of the gates. And you know what? I don't blame them if they do. Both teams 6-3 against the record. I am going to take the Chiefs to cover the -7 line right now. That's actually kind of low considering how many points Chiefs are going to be putting up on the board this week. So I think both of these look good. I think take the over 56.5 and take the Chiefs -7. There you go. That's simple. It really is. Now, last game, we have the Rams visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like I talked about earlier, coming off a victory against the Panthers, putting up 46 points. And boy, was that expected from them, especially after a shit performance against the Saints. Now, over-under is at 48.5. I think that's a little high. I think the Buccaneers defense is going to come out and play really well against the Rams. I don't know what the hell that noise is. Sorry about that, guys. The video is almost over. So 48.5 is the line, and I am going to take the under on this one just because Tampa Bay's run defense is really good. I don't think Sean McVay is going to have any answers for it. That is going to do it. Let me go ahead and just go through the picks real quick. So first game, I did take the over 57.5. Cleveland Browns for the second game to cover the spread. Atlanta Falcons versus the Saints. I am taking the over on that one. Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Washington football team. And then I do have the Carolina Panthers coming up victorious versus Detroit Lions. And then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars going under 47 points. And then the Tennessee Titans should be able to cover that -6.5 against the Baltimore Ravens. New England Patriots coming out victorious against the Houston Texans. Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos. I do expect the Miami Dolphins to come out victorious this one, especially Tua being 3-0 so far this season. He's going to be looking to make it 4-0. Chargers and Jets, I told you guys I really don't have an answer for that one. Best bet is your money line parlay. Packers versus Colts. Packers should come out victorious. Dallas Cowboys versus Minnesota Vikings. I am taking the over in this one despite that fourth-string quarterback starting for the Dallas Cowboys. Chiefs and Raiders, I said take the Chiefs to cover and the over. And then last but not least, let's go ahead and take that under 48.5 for the Buccaneers and the Rams game. So thank you guys for watching this Beat the Odds episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you guys want me to do a more updated version of these picks, don't be afraid to reach me at Beat the Odds 365 on Twitter. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you guys later. See you.